Hi, my name's Trevor Hicks, and I am a physical therapist with AdventHealth Sports Med and Rehab. Today I'm going to be showing you some hip and core strengthening for runners. Got my demonstrator here, Corey. He's going to be running through a couple of these with us. When I think of hip and core strengthening for runners, I think of three things. Muscular endurance, or high reps and low weight. Strength, which is going to be your mid reps, 5 to 10 reps, a little bit higher in weight, 85% up to our 1 rep max. So that way we can build some strength, as well as our power production, which is again our fast twitch muscles. Quick, fast reproduction of force. So let's get to it. Corey's going to show you a bridge. So he's going to lay down on the ground. This is again going to go with muscular endurance as well as postural stability. So when we go with these, Corey's going to drive from his hips, keeping his core nice and stable. Because when you're running, obviously you want to drive from the hips. You want to keep your core nice and stable. So the beginner bridge, again, you're going to kind of walk through, keeping the back nice and still and tight. He's driving with his hips, lifting up. This is your first progression. Go ahead and come back down. Good. Your next progression, after you've kind of worked through those, starting to feel a little bit better, again, high rep range. We're going to work up again. And now he's going to go into what we call a marching bridge. So he's going to alternate lifting one leg at a time, nice and still, trying to keep the pelvis nice and level. Come on back down, and then switch legs. Good. And back down. Good. Okay. So that again, you're having to alternate back and forth from one leg to the other, like you would in a running gait. Okay, so the last progression of these, we're going to put a ball underneath his feet. And this is just to kind of increase the difficulty, another step. So he's going to lift his hips up again, trying to keep that still neutral lumbar spine, again, driving from the hips. Again, these are all high reps because what you're trying to do is build muscular endurance as well as that neurological connection to the posture and the position. Go ahead and come back down. So next exercise we're going to talk about, again, we're talking about muscular endurance and single leg stability. So Corey's going to demonstrate what we call the runner's core 4. You can take any 6-inch step, an edge of a stair, anything you like. The main focus here again, hands on his hips, so he's able to keep his pelvis level. So we're working on single leg stability. We're also going to be working on single leg strength as he drops into the bottom of his heel tap here. He's just going to barely tap his left heel on the ground and then come on back up. We're looking at a few things. As I mentioned, the hips. We're also looking at his knee, where his knee's going, in or out. If his knee's caving in, that's going to show me we have a little bit of single leg hip weakness up here as well. And then again, yeah, we're looking for a little bit of a quad and hip drive. Next, at the top here, now he's going to swing the left leg out to his side. Okay, again, still trying to keep the pelvis level, still trying to stay balanced over his right leg, which is his support leg. Okay. Our third one for the runner's core 4 is going to be a combination of the first two. He's going to drop down, he's going to hover just barely above the floor, and he's going to swing that leg out to the side. Perfect. Now we're getting a little bit more of a static iso hold of that quad and glute. I want you to come back up just a little. Good. So I'm still being mindful of posture when you're doing these, because obviously when you're running, you don't want to be too far tipped forward, too far tipped backward. Okay. Last but not least for the runner's core 4, he's going into a little bit of a runner's lunge. He's going to drop back, and then he's going to drive up and go almost exactly like he's driving, getting a little bit of arm swing, and he's pausing and getting a little bit of hold. You also want good tall posture, drive from the glute, stay nice and tall. Perfect. A little bit of a pause at the top to show me you've got a little bit of single leg stability. Perfect. Awesome. So then, moving on from there, we're going to show you a little bit of strength and power development with our next exercises. So for us, we're using a medicine ball. It's nice and easy today. We've got a 15-pound medicine ball. Again, for a lifter like Corey or a runner like Corey, more than likely this is definitely not heavy enough for him. But again, you want to load these, especially for your strength movements, in that 5 to 10 rep range. Where you're at the end of that 10 reps, you can do no more. If you can do more than that, we should either be upping the weight or decreasing the reps again with more weight. So again, trying to stay in that 5 to 10 rep range. You can rest as long as you'd like in between them, but you want to make sure that you're fresh at the beginning of each one, because again, this is strength development. We're trying to build those muscles and make them grow. Okay? So holding the ball at your chest, he's going to drop back down into what we call a front squat or a medicine ball squat, keeping his lumbar spine or his low back nice and neutral, driving from his hips as he comes back up. Okay, good. Nice and slow and controlled on the way down, almost like he's sitting in a chair is the cue I give a lot of people. And then again, nice and controlled as we come back up. You can add pauses into this, again, for more muscular engagement. The longer time under tension, the longer you're doing these exercises, the better. So you're not just going through them, rush, get through 5 or 10 reps and you're done. You want to take your time. And last but not least, we're going to talk about power development. Talk about power development, the exact same exercise we're doing. Now he's gonna try and move as quickly and fast as he can. And when he comes out of the bottom of his squat, he's gonna push up and drive with his hips and let that ball go up straight up over his head. He's trying to move as quickly as he can, again, from the bottom of the hole and then up. Go, good. And one more time, down to the hole, quick, and then explode, good. Again, so you're going for that elasticity, that recoil of movement, so that way when you're running and you're bounding from one leg to the other, your contact time on each foot is going to be quicker, shown to decrease risk of injury because you're reducing forces on the foot. So that's an excellent force production exercise. And thank you all for watching. Thank you to my special guest, Corey, for demonstrating our exercises for us today. And if you have any questions or need the help of a physical therapist, please contact any of our sports med and rehab facilities located throughout Central Florida.